why don't I just tell you a little bit about what's going on and what we're seeing at the food bank these days, what we're trying to do. I can answer some questions, and then we also want to show folks around who haven't been to the food bank before, so to see the whole facility. But, I mean, the headline is that we have never seen this level of demand in the state for food before. It's just unbelievable. So, in 2009, on average, the food pantries that receive food from the food bank serve 52,000 people each month. 52,000 people is just unbelievable. And if you're at a food pantry and see the line of people, you really don't know the circumstances that have brought them there, unless you ask. And we had the opportunity to ask. We participated in a study that was sponsored by the National Food Bank Organization, Feeding America. And we interviewed about 360 people at food pantries and talked to them about why they were there. And some of the things that we found out weren't that surprising, and that is that the people who are in line are suffering incredible financial hardship. The people in line are like 20% of the people there were recently unemployed, which accounts for this huge jump in numbers that we've seen. One of the things that was surprising to us is that 4 out of 10 people in line are parents who were there getting food for their kids. And that's very, very troubling for us. The whole impact of hunger on children is so devastating, and it's really a story that doesn't get told. But we're trying to tell it, we're trying to get the word out. One of the things that we're doing is this May, we're going to bring an exhibit to Rhode Island. Photographs taken by women living in poverty who have used this as an opportunity to depict their lives. And Lisa Roth-Blackman and I got to see this exhibit in D.C. recently, and the photographs themselves are very moving. But what makes the exhibit incredible is that the photographers, the women, the witnesses to hunger are there, standing next to their photos, telling their stories, which is, really an amazing thing to experience. And we very rarely have a voice for people experiencing hunger in 2010, but there they are, and they're telling their stories. And so that exhibit will be here in Providence. The opening is May 19th, and I'm sure in what we're going to give you today will be invitations to that. We'll make sure that you all get an invite. That exhibit is very, very timely because this spring, Congress is taking up legislation to fund some of the critical programs that feed kids. School lunch, school breakfast, after-school meals, and WIC, the Women, Infants, and Children program, are all up for funding this year. And we want to do everything we can to make sure those programs are funded, and also that kids who need those programs have access to them. So we're doing a few things to try to help with that this year, with help from the United National Foods and some other great sponsors. We're providing school breakfast excellence awards. So this is any school where over half the kids are participating in the school breakfast program get an award from us. And what we're hoping is that we really recognize principals who are showing leadership and superintendents who are showing leadership to help kids get breakfast that they need. Because really that's what it takes. It takes leadership in the school. We can advocate all we want, but it takes the superintendent saying this is important, the principal making the decision to make it happen, and food service folks making the food and making it good so the kids want to be there and eat it. So we're there to try to reinforce that. And really, this is just part of a bigger effort. Advocates have been working for years to try to get increases in school breakfast participation. This is just, we're doing our piece of it. We also provide meals to kids at after-school programs in Providence and Newport. the meals provided to kids in Providence are actually made here. And you'll see, if you haven't seen before, our kitchen. We have a job training program, 14 weeks. Folks in that job training program every day are making the meals that go to Boys and Girls Clubs in Providence that kids eat at school. So it's a great, this combination of we're making the meals, we're training folks, and we're getting healthy food to kids who are in these after-school programs starting like around 2:30. Parents don't pick them up until 6. They've had lunch at school probably around 11:30 in the morning. So they're really hungry by the time our meals arrive at 4:35. And it's a great thing that we're able to provide. In the meantime, the job training program, led by 2 chef instructors here, is phenomenal. And even in this recession, the folks graduating from our classes are getting jobs, which is a real sign of the fact that employers see our graduates as they're ready to work and they're well trained, so they're ready to hire them. And finally, the last thing I want to tell you about is that we have a program called Raising the Bar on Nutrition that was started by a board member, Mary Flynn. She's a research dietitian that provides cooking demonstrations at food pantries. And what we do is we're showing parents how to prepare healthy meals on a really tight budget. And so far, the results, we've been doing that for a little over a year, and the results have been also phenomenal in showing that people are able to stretch their limited dollars, buy healthier food, and really change their diets. And we now have about 50 people go through the whole program. It's a 6-week demonstration where we have folks learn how to cook meals, and then we actually give them the ingredients to take home and try it themselves. So it's very much a hands-on type of cooking class, and people are making huge changes in their lives. So all this is important to us because we feel like it's not enough just to feed kids. That children need good nutrition if they're going to grow and thrive and be healthy and learn. And so we want to be part of that. And President Obama has set 2015 as the date for the end of childhood hunger in America. And he's trying to do everything he can to make sure that the federal government is responsive to what we're seeing locally, but we really want to be part of that effort. If we can end childhood hunger in 5 years, that'd be awesome. So that's all I want to say.